starting.
Please wait.
We'll let it know when we're starting.
It's starting.
Ready? Starting now.
Hello. Oh my god, this is silly.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to shadows stretching over you. You said my name, you fed the dark. Every word a little spark. Harlots of Spooktalk, here we are. In your room and in your car, swearing once on what we're told. Some are true and some are wrong. Jumps, radio coughs and broken lumps, voices crawling through the hiss, calling out the names you miss. You choke it off, it's just a game, but something answers when you say my name. Cold seatbelt across your chest, I ride along an uninvited guest. Harlots of Spooktalk, here we are. In your room and in your car, swearing once on what we're told. Some are true and some are wrong. Harlots of Spooktalk, here we are. Whispered there in churchyard mode, swearing once on what we're told. Some are true and some are wrong.
Okay.
But we could do a seance and tape it.
Last time I did a seance,
Oh, you could
I
do
was
it.
haunted for a very, very long time.
We'll sage.
I'm good.
Not the house. Ourselves. We're gonna have to do some stupid stuff, okay?
Why is it a
that-
seance though?
Because I always do stupid stuff. You're
So
gonna
do I.
you're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
So, oh, wait, is Tiff on board with this?
Yeah, she said yes to the seance.
Oh my
I did.
gosh!
I did.
Have you ever done a seance?
I have.
I didn't have very good luck the last time I did it.
And I can't get into too much detail what we did there because it's really jogged for me. Like, I can see it, I can feel it, but I can't process it fully. That's the weird part for me. Because I always process things. Like, I couldn't process this. Since I got home from that whole experience, it's been feeling different. Like, my dreams are different. I don't feel quite like 100% like myself. I feel more freer in a way that I can't explain. The night seems longer, type of thing. I know that sounds crazy, and I'm not trying to sound crazy. But the experience has woken something up. I want to learn more. I need to know more about what happened and what pulls people to these streets down there. What makes you feel so heavy but then so light after. It's so hard to explain.
When we set out to Bourbon Street, we just did not, we didn't know. We didn't know all the things that could happen. I mean, like, this was me and Tiffany's first time, you know? So we were kind of walking into it kind of blindly, in a sense.
Okay, so fun fact. I remember most of this, like, still so vivid, but I was a little bit more intoxicated than most people that night.
So, oh, okay. So, I'm going to tell you what happened. We had a lot of things happen. It was pretty terrifying and something that we would always remember.
It felt like in front of that, like everything lifted. I was still a little fuzzy in the head, I'm not gonna lie, but it felt like this weight was lifted off my shoulders, off my chest. It felt freeing. I'm standing there looking at this statue, thinking this guy is so much doing what he did. I don't know why he did what he did, but thankful for it. But it really got to me that night. Like when we got back to their Airbnb, kind of was thinking to myself, like this wasn't. I didn't believe. Like I believed in it, but I didn't. I didn't think it would ever affect me. Like I'm the type of person got to see it to believe it. I can't explain this. Like it's hard to explain.
Okay. So, we went out to Bourbon Street. We were set out to find the blacksmith bar is what we were looking for. So Carly had on her GPS. We were we were all going as a group. There was a group of 5 of us. We had one guy and the rest were all females. So, Harlots of Spooktalk, yes. And it was pretty cool. We're walking through, we're having a good time. We're like, this is where we're gonna get our drinks at. No big deal. Didn't really know what was. We just knew that we thought that we were going to a haunted bar. That's all we know. So we get over to this other bar that was not the blacksmith bar.
Earlier that day, we were looking for the Casket Girls. We went to the church and places like that, searching for any history. That night, we went out for dinner at the Bourbon House and decided, let's go see the nightlife. Well, that night was pretty remarkable what happened. Let's just say after we left the Bourbon House, we started walking and taking side streets and stuff like that, trying to avoid big crowds. And something just drew us to this one bar. It felt different around that area. I don't know how to totally explain it, except something just felt like we needed to be there. Like deep down in your gut type of feeling. As we got to this place, we decided to go in. The hostess there, I seen a table. I was like, 5 of us, please. Can we get that table? She took a minute and she was like, well, upstairs is another room. Why don't you guys go up there and, relax, come down to the bar, get what you want, and go back up. So I was like, okay. So we all headed upstairs. Me and LD decided to go downstairs to get everybody a round of drinks. So we were down there for quite a little while the rest were upstairs exploring. Who all wants blood bags?
I'd say definitely. I don't even care what's in it.
Who's going down with me?
We go up these stairs, and I immediately noticed, 1, it's warm because hormones, and 2, it's very heavy. My spirit was like, I don't know. My spirit was just, it's like, this is very heavy. Just be aware of your surroundings. So that's what I did. I was kind of looking around, checking everything out. I noticed when I got in there, there was 3 Victorian couches. I know I say this a lot if you've heard me tell the story. I don't know. It's just one of the things that I first noticed. I was like, oh, that's cool. That's very interesting, There's on the window behind that back Victorian couch is a window that's covered, and there's an AC unit next to it. I'm like, okay, cool beans. So we're kind of just looking around. I look at Carly. She's like, hey, we need to go get drinks. And I was like, you know what? I'll go with you. We'll go get the IV bags, because when in New Orleans, that's the one thing they always talk about. Get the IV bags. We're adults, so okay, let's go get them. We go downstairs. We get to the bar. Everything. I don't know if it was just me, but something kind of felt off. Like the bartender didn't seem to have like a lot of emotion, but I don't know if he was just like, well, let's give him a break. He seemed like a nice, friendly guy, right? The staff was really friendly, so we finally got our IV bags. We went right back up those stairs, and once I got in there, that's when Tiffany told me.
Me and LD decided to go downstairs to get everybody a round of drinks. So we were down there for quite a little while the rest were upstairs exploring and stuff like that in that one room. I remember walking back up to that room, sitting down, we all chatting. This is when Tiffany let us know something touched her and she moved over. So we were all just chilling, talking.
Everybody sits down, we're all looking in the room. It's like a pretty cool room. Yeah, you like some drinks and y'all just check out the rest of the place, and I was like, okay, because there was a freaking back room, and I'm like, that's weird. I did get up, I walked back there. I don't remember, I didn't go in the bathroom. I don't remember if I did. I don't know. I just know that I saw like a coffin thing. It was a coffin, I believe. And I was like, decoration. Okay. But this place, it was so dim and dark back there. I was like, I'm going to go back in there. It was hot as crap upstairs, okay? And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, I'm going to just go sit here. Your girl needs to sit. So your girl goes and sits. And anyways, so we go into this, we go back, sit down, and LaDon and Carly are still down getting drinks at the bar. So cool. It's hot as crap. So the AC finally kicks on. And we're all talking, goofing off, just whatever. And I'm like, what the heck just touched the back of my head? Because it felt like something pushed my head like that. But, like you can feel the hand, like right here. Yeah, it was like someone actually touched the back of my head. I don't know. I believe in this stuff. I do. But your girl was already like, yeah. I was a little bit more gone than, not gone, but I was just like enjoying myself. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to think anything of it because, like, they probably just think I'm crazy.
We thought, like, okay, we looked at it, no big deal. We're looking around the room. There was some women that came up there, passing through. Very nice, very kind women. When they had left, not long after they left, as a matter of fact, there was a woman that came from the room where she was getting a reading. And she's kind of like walking like a zombie almost. Like, I looked at her arms and I was like, no. What I saw was an outline. It was like if you're looking at someone's spirit, you can kind of see like the outside form, if that makes sense. And I seen it and it was white, and my spirit was like, they're possessed. And I thought, oh hell no, I'm getting the hell out of here. So I stood up and I looked at Carly. I don't know why I looked at Carly, but I'm always looking at Carly. Sorry, Carly. And I said, oh hell no, F this, F, no, I'm getting the F out of here. Hell no. Like, there was no chill. So I ran downstairs And I was kind of researching the bar. From what I read online, it said that it was like a pirate bar or something. And I thought, okay, so there's pirates. There was like a ghost of a pirate. This is what the website said. So, and like a lady in white, and I'm like, okay, so these are the ghosts that we're kind of filling out, see if we feel. Um, and it, it's crazy because when I went in there, I thought, this is a vampire bar. But, I wanted to do my research, and so that's what I did. I saw him downstairs while this woman apparently went into that room where there's a coffin. Carly had heard a little bit of what she said. Tiffany seen what happened. Everybody, Lana was shook. So I waited a couple minutes and then I went back upstairs. And as I'm going upstairs, I see her going back into the room where she would get her reading. And I'm like, I get in the room and I'm like, are y'all okay?
So we were all just chilling, talking. Then we noticed, not too long into chilling in that room, we noticed somebody walk up. And this person, I guess, had to use the bathroom. Well, I was in the bathroom earlier and I noticed there was no toilet seat. And the bathroom was really not functional in a way. And of course, me being me, I touched everything. Looking around, we still didn't notice on the wall what it said, and we still didn't notice why the atmosphere felt so dark. I don't know how to explain it, but a heaviness sitting on your chest. You wanted to move, but you were so drained you couldn't, type of thing. That's when I noticed LD jump up when the girl came through and was like, I'm not dealing with this, and said something else and walked down the steps. Then I guess I got up and started pacing a little bit, wondering where this girl went. Wondering if she was okay. Because that bathroom was not really functional, and she was in there for quite a while. As she walked out, I noticed something wasn't quite right with this girl, and it sounded like she was talking, but in a language we really didn't understand. It sounded like an older language. And she walked back into the other room where this other woman was sitting, staring at us this whole time, I noticed.
So we were getting up to go because LaDawn comes back up and was like, I guess she thought we were all following her, but I was just like, I gotta wait and see if this girl fell in the toilet, okay? And so LaDawn comes back up, and then we all get up. Well, I look across the hall, and I saw this girl, she was, to me, she looked blonde with a white dress on, and she threw her head back and was laughing and then I saw a little boy, I saw the little boy before that, but I saw we were all standing up to go, and that's when I saw these people walking up the stairs to go into that room across from us, which would have been up the stairs to the right. And I was like, okay, maybe it's a private event or something going on, and someone brought their kid. Little boy kind of looked weird, but he made eye contact with me. Why are these people just freaking making eye contact with me? Is there something on my face, or what? I mean, something in my hair? I don't know. But anyways, we were okay, so we're heading out of this place. And I remember we're all freaked out. I was calm. Don't get me wrong. They will tell you I was not calm. I was calm on the outside. Because, your girl was like, hey, yep. And so we go, yeah, this was because we had the little straws in these bags, and it was like in the bag we had a hold, and then the straw, yeah. So we only had one, but whatever. We get outside, and there was already, like, I saw a corner of my eye, there was this guy standing there, looked all big and buff, and Carly walked over to him because she looked the most freaked out, and she was the last one out of the room, and the guy stopped her, and she was talking to him for a minute. I don't know what was said in that conversation, but I remember I'm standing up against this wall across from the bar we were at.
Well, we were kind of talking about what we had seen, what they had heard. There was some saying like there was some tongue speaking. Well, we're looking at the wall, back at that painting with the girl and the 3 women on there. And Carly's reading the wall, and she says, oh my gosh, this is the Casket Girls. And which was mind-boggling, because when we made that list before we left, like the day before, I said, you know what, let's restart our list. What are the 4 stories we want to get on? And the number 1 on that list was the Casket Girls. So I'm like, okay, yeah, because the last time we did it, the story didn't do it justice, so this would have been the perfect time. And cool. So we decide it's time to go. We need to get the hell out of here. So we start to go downstairs, but then 10 women come up the stairs. There was a child. I personally didn't see the child, but I think my brain was going 100 miles an hour. Maybe I saw the child, but I did not. I don't know. But so we went back downstairs, and as we're coming out, we're looking at the bar from the outside. The top 2 lights of the bar, those lights were off. Didn't think nothing about it.
I first noticed a woman sitting in the other room, like right across from us. As we walked up, I didn't pay too mind to her, like, okay, is somebody else in that room? But that girl, something was clearly wrong with her, it seemed, walked back over into that room. As she did this, LD came back up, and we started, like, panning around, looking around. That's when I caught on the wall. Remember, earlier that day, we were looking for the Casket Girls. It was a news article about the Casket Girls, and something about them having a part of this location. They didn't stay there full time. Of course, they were over in the Uslan community church kind of thing over there, but something about them in this old apothecary at one time. And I'm there reading it, and I just totally got, yet again, a feeling of dread. Like, you just felt heavy. So, we're all there talking, yet again, looking around. We decided it was time to go. So the rest of them got up and went. Me and LD's friend that was there were kind of behind the group just a little bit at that point. So we kind of stuck our head into the other room, and that's when I noticed a cabinet. In this cabinet was little figurines, candles, and everything else that you would need to do rituals and stuff like that. So in the meantime, prior to us leaving, we seen a larger group of women come up with one kid and go into that room too. That kind of like set it off for us. It was time to leave. As we and him were standing there staring at this cabinet, the lady that was standing there gave us a really nasty, like, what are you doing type of look. So we proceeded to leave. As we were walking out of this place, I can't explain the feeling of maybe we shouldn't have been like maybe we were meant to be there. Maybe we should have researched more type of feeling. But I let that go and started walking. I was head of the group as we're walking down the street.
So we're kind of like talking about it. I'm getting some videos. Carly takes off to this other bar. I don't know the purpose, but she did. And she was talking to this big buff guy, and I don't know what he said to her. I know I got up there, we got there when he was asking about the t-shirt. And we're like, okay, yeah, we're a podcast, Harlots of Spooktalk, yada yada yada. And he's like, oh, you know, my wife's seen a ghost. And then Carly's telling me, oh, she's got a picture of a Wendigo. And I was like, oh, hell yeah. We want to see. So I'm like, can we see it? And he's like, yeah, yeah. So he introduces us to his wife, and we're talking. She's cool as shit, by the way. And yeah, she's showing us the picture. We're like, wow. I was really studying it and looking at it, and I was like, that's pretty damn cool. You know, so we're just kind of taking a break. It's hot. There's no ACs. And that's when something weird happens.
As I was ahead of the group walking, something was just telling me just go. So I started basically almost, we were pretty much not speed walking, but walking very fast the opposite way. And I'm telling you, when we walked pretty far, like at least 10 to 15 minutes, it felt like. And then we noticed a store, and everybody wanted to go in and check the store out. It was a voodoo store. So we all went into the voodoo store, kind of walked around in like a U shape, came back out the building after everybody, you know, got the looks in, started walking again. Within like a minute or two of walking, I noticed this lady we passed prior on the way out. She was sitting there doing tarot readings with a little ball. I was like, wait a minute, something, like, really, like, how? So as soon as we turned the corner, boom, we were right back in the exact same spot we started. Like, when we left. I was like, there's no way. Physically, there is no way to do what we just did. So it kind of creeped me out, but it didn't. That's the weird part about this. I wanted to go back in. It felt like I needed to go back in. And, of course, they stopped me. I guess he yelled my name. I stopped. Still wasn't feeling right at this point. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It felt like a pressure. Like, just a pressure on your shoulders. You felt drained. It felt like something was sitting on your chest. As I was scanning, I guess I looked over and seen somebody. And I guess I ran to him. Pretty much, like, walked very fast over. And I guess the first thing I said to him, which I don't remember too much about, like, this whole thing. I remember, I don't know if I told you, I only had 3 or 4 sips of my drink. I wasn't really drinking that weekend. I didn't feel like drinking that weekend. I was there to, like, sightsee and see some stuff. I didn't want to, you know, be too drunk. So maybe 3 or 4 sips. Maybe that much of the drink. It wasn't that much. And I looked straight at him. I guess I said, I'm not drunk. I don't feel right.
And the guy, you know, which was the husband, he said, you know, this bar is haunted too. And he's telling us stories of, he says, hey, let me show you something cool. And I'm like, okay. So he takes me, Carly, and Joe. We go upstairs. I wish I got footage of the stairs. I did not. But we got up the stairs, and we see these, like, big statues. You know, the man and woman. And that is said to go off at 1 a.m. every night. They had to take all the wires out of it. And it was pretty creepy. I don't know. There was something about him. But he's showing us this big wall where you could see at the top where it's kind of cracked. It's crumbling, and there was a cement on there. A cement block. Carly, can you explain that story? But I know that didn't happen by coincidence or storm. Something did that. So we go and towards the back, and that's when we seen everything. There was like, I'm like, okay. But it was kind of weird for me, because I was like, I felt a guy presence up there. But now I don't know. I was like, is he over here? Like, I don't. And he was like, well, he moves, he travels. Okay, so this is where they had working slaves in this area too, plus a man jumped off of a building, plus it just balances stories, which I'm sure Carly will get to. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I start taking pictures, and I got a very good photo. I even circled it for you. So we start kind of taking pictures and videoing the whole area. And we get some stuff on camera. We get some orbs. And I caught my ghost on camera. Unreal. Right? So, that's not even all of it. Just trying to find a good... what was crazy is we're telling him. We tell the guy, we say, this is what happened. You know, and it was crazy. We tell him what happened at the, what we thought was like a pirate bar. And he says, oh, that's the apothecary. And he's like, yeah, that's... She's like, well, we've seen the sign for the Casket Girls. And he's like, she's like, but I thought they were in the church. And he's like, yeah, they were in the church. And she's like, yeah, the church. And he's like, yeah, they were in the church. And we were like, oh, snap. So upon multiple research, the Casket Girls were in that room. They weren't in there the whole time, not the whole entire time, but they were in there for a long spirited time. And in that bar is where they do voodoo. I think a part of us got left over there.
We decided to go around. Like, okay, so we'll walk on the back side and then go down another street to get back to where we need to be or whatever. So that's what we did, but we walked a freaking, like, feels like 5 miles. I don't know. We didn't. I don't know. I'm over exaggerating probably, but we were walking for a minute and then we decided to turn. Okay, let's go find this bar. I think we're looking for a pirate bar or something. And I wanted to go into a voodoo shop. Not gonna lie. So we went into we found this voodoo shop. We went in, checked it out, looked around. Cool. You know, and we're all walking out and forgot we turned or something and we're right back to the same freaking bar we just ran out of. And I was like, whoa. WTF, like, oh my Lanta. And everyone's just like froze and stopped, like, how the hell we end up back here? We were just in a voodoo shop and if we just left this place and we walked a long ways to get to the voodoo shop and now we're back here. Like, your girl was tripping at this point. And I'm like, okay. And Carly's leading us. And she is like, she was so ready to go back into this bar. Like, the apothecary bar or something. I don't know what it was called. I still don't remember the name of it. But, she was all excited and ready to go back into this bar. And we're just like, Carly.
So as soon as we turned the corner, boom, we were right back in the exact same spot we started. Like, when we left. I was like, there's no way. Physically, there is no way to do what we just did. So it kind of creeped me out, but it didn't. That's the weird part about this. I wanted to go back in. It felt like I needed to go back in. And, of course, they stopped me. I guess he yelled my name. I stopped. Still wasn't feeling right at this point. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It felt like a pressure. Like, just a pressure on your shoulders. You felt drained felt like something was sitting on your chest. As I was scanning, I guess I looked over and seen somebody, and I guess I ran to him, pretty much, like walked very.
Come on. And so the guy that she talked to at the beginning when we first ran out was standing there and was like, are y'all okay? Because we all looked like, whoa, what just happened here? And so yeah, I couldn't tell you, like, it felt weird, but I'm like, okay, this probably happens all the time. But when he was leading us out, like leading us, I think he was taking us to wherever we needed to be, or like where we knew where we were, if that makes sense. I don't know. But we
were all like talking outside for a minute, still felt this heaviness. And then that's when the guy said, hey, I got something to show you guys if you want to see. So we followed him in a fast pace. Where he took us to was pretty farther down. It was a statue. As soon as we got in front of that, like right in, it felt like in front of that, like everything lifted. I was still a little fuzzy in the head, I'm not gonna lie. But it felt like this weight was lifted off my shoulders, off my chest. It felt freeing. I'm standing there looking at this statue thinking this guy is so much doing what he did. I don't know why he did what he did, but thankful for it. But it really got to me that night. Like when we got back to the Airbnb, I kind of was thinking to myself, like this wasn't, I didn't believe, like I believed in it, but I didn't. I didn't think it would ever affect me. Like I'm the type of person got to see it to believe it. I can't explain this. Like it's hard to explain.
Hey!